Britain is heading to the polls once again. There's a general election approaching, so I'm getting out of the office and on the road to find out what's happening at this volatile political time. This week I've come to England's West Country to chat to Jacob Rees-Mogg about Brexit. He's the Conservative MP for North East Somerset and sits firmly on the Eurosceptic wing of the party. I'm keen to find out what he thinks this election is about, leadership of the UK or the EU question. Jacob Rees-Mogg, how much of this general election is going to be about Brexit and how much of it is about leadership?
Well, I think Brexit and leadership become ultimately the same point. A great deal of it will be about Brexit, and we've seen the European Commission trying to interfere in our election, showing how important it is that we have strong leadership, and that leads you straight back to Mrs May. But having somebody who can negotiate the details effectively, who can stand up for British interests, who can be strong in the discussions, is an essential part of this election. So it's both leadership and Brexit.
So when you say interfere in this election, what way do you mean? They're not sort of rigging ballot boxes or propagating fake news?
Well, whether the news is accurate or not is open to debate, but the leaks about the now famous dinner at Downing Street have been designed to undermine the Conservative campaign and have been a personal attack on Mrs Theresa May. And it's quite improper of the European Commission to behave in this way. They are funded by us and should behave independently in British elections. They should keep themselves out of it.
And how do you feel about the revival of the Liberal Democrats in the southwest? Because that was their stronghold, and the big story of the 2015 election was the fact that your party managed to destroy them. But there's been talk that they might come back again. Do you think they've got any hope of, and are you going to hold on to those seats that were previously Lib Dem strongholds?
Well, when you say the revival of the Lib Dems, I think that is in the dreams of the leader of the Lib Dem party. I don't think there's any evidence for it, any reality.
They've got 101,000 members. They've had a big boost since the general election.
Well, so Jeremy Corbyn's got even more members than that. That 101,000 members out of 60 million population isn't very much. No party has a huge membership as a proportion of the country, or where they were 30, 40 years ago. There's no evidence of a revival, and the message of the Lib Dems in the southwest is basically vote for us and we'll take you back into the European Union, to a staunchly Eurosceptic area. Why would anybody want that? The real issue facing the Lib Dems is that they're neither liberal nor democratic. They didn't like the result of the referendum. They want to get it overturned when they proposed having a referendum on in or out for years beforehand. It's a very odd position for them to be in.
But if democracy is if circumstances change, then you might want to reconsider it. And their argument is, well, if it looks like we're not going to get a good Brexit deal or Brexit might be a disaster, then people have got a right to want to reconsider that. You must accept that's a valid argument.
People, of course, have a right to change their mind, but there's no evidence that people have changed their mind. What you asked me was the evidence for the Lib Dem revival. And yes, the point you make is a valid one, but that doesn't support a Lib Dem revival. That really supports the continued dysfunction of the Lib Dems, failure to win many seats back, failure to make any inroads, because they're advocating a policy that people don't like, rejected a year ago and will reject again on the 8th of June.
And finally, do you think landslide majorities produce bad governments? That was the words of Francis Pym in 1983, who said that if you have a big majority, it actually leads to complacent and flabby governing. Is that going to happen this time if Mrs May gets a big majority?
But Francis Pym was wrong in what he said. A big majority is crucially important. It's important to ensure we have strong leadership in the Brexit debate, so we can stand up to the bullies in the European Commission. But it's also absolutely crucial that the hard left socialist vision of Jeremy Corbyn is heavily defeated at the ballot box. That is such a wrong vision, out-of-date vision for this country of red in tooth and claw socialism that it needs to be defeated heavily.
Jacob Rees-Mogg, thank you very much.
Thank you.